And we are back. You are listening to IBGR.network. Well, IBGR is our call sign as a radio station, but of course we are more than a radio station. We are a network of global entrepreneurs coming together to create a shared space for collaboration and business success. See, your success is our success. If we can help you in any way, if we can guide you and support you, give you insights and information into you being better, doing what you want to do, and as an entrepreneur is grow your business, then we are surely succeeding, and that's our aim for every one of us. So we need to make sure that to do so, we want you to start asking questions. So if you have questions, because you the audience are the all-important members. Yes, of course, we are all important. I know that, because without us, there wouldn't be a radio show, and without Donna and Bill, it would never have started. So the people behind the scenes here are absolutely amazing. But we want you to start participating, because next season, our radio shows will be guided by its information that you provide for us this season. We will start answering next season. So you are going to be deciding how our radio, within reason of course, how our radio shows will run. So, use that well and get these questions answers. If you go to our website, you can hit the pulsating question mark and ask questions. And if not, you can always actually come on live now, because as I said, we've gone live, especially on my show just now, and already on some North American shows. So you can leave live comments. We're still kind of working it out, but I already see some live comments. So if you go onto download the meeting, the show notes, if you download them, there is in there how you can actually enter the meeting. It's on a Google Meet. Or you can call in, and then even if you can't ask live questions, you can already leave messages. But we want you to come on the show live. The whole idea is that we go from just us talking to us having a discussion, to us listening to you, the listener. So I am your host, Jan Robberts, global influencer, and this is episode 8 already. How time even passes. Business meetings, a necessary evil, is this week's subject. In the people lane, people skills for success at IBGR.network. And as I said, go to our website at www.ibgr.network, where you can download the show notes, but also find so much more from our fellow hosts and podcast, the whole 9 yards. So join us. Now, we've all been in meetings that were run poorly, including the wrong people, and didn't lead to concrete objectives. But by improving how meetings are run, businesses have a major way to immediately improve the way time is managed and how team members collaborate. Following best practices, using the right collaboration tools, and holding everyone accountable can be significant improvement on your meeting experience. And as I said, some people would say if a meeting was short, that would be an absolute miracle. But many meeting experiences are, let's say, negative, and most of the time it is because there are too many of them. If you don't need to have a meeting where you can just a simple email or a quick discussion between a few people will do, which I suppose is a meeting, but we don't need to have all these long meetings. And preparation, I talked about last week, the meeting before the meeting, how important that is. But then when it comes to the meeting, sometimes they drag on and on and on. But we're going to look at 6 most common types of business meetings, and that includes status update meetings, decision-making meetings, problem-solving meetings, team building meetings, ID sharing meetings, and innovation meetings. Now, I never knew there was so many different kind of meetings, and they even had names, but in my research, it's amazing, what I can find. There is so much information out there, but what we're trying to do is use our own insights and information from our experiences and our expertise, and blend that with the information that's out there and see what we can bring you. But of course, this is our perception, this is our thoughts, our experiences, but we want to blend that even more so with you. So that's why, this is a social network where we want to connect with you. It's a radio show. We want to connect with you. We want to make sure that your input is always important, and we want to hear you on the radio show. So we hope that even if you're not listening live, that when you listen to the recordings, that next week If you can, join us live if you can't do this week, and make sure that you come and join us so we can listen to you. We can answer your questions live, and we can learn from your experiences as well, because you, the listener, are important to us. So there is 6 types of business meetings. And before planning meetings, it is necessary to identify what type of meeting it is, that you don't throw everything in a meeting and everybody's confused by the time they come out. So there's actually a huge difference between a weekly status meeting and an emergency meeting that might require urgent attention. So let's go briefly through the different status update meetings. And if you have questions, we already found a little challenge that Donna, who's got up at an ungodly hour of 5 o'clock this morning in America to support and guide me in this, because it's new to me too. But we found out she can't connect with people and help them out in the challenges of them getting online without me hearing it. So I had to get out of the meeting just now, but I'll get the messages, and in the break we will get on again and we'll make it work. But again, don't leave, don't give up trying, because we want you on this radio show. We want you on every radio show. And English would be good for most of us, even though we're now in 146 countries. But yeah, status update meetings. Well, almost every company is familiar with those recurring team meetings that were initially intended to share updates on the latest projects and make sure everyone on the team is on the same page about the process of the project. But these meetings are meant to be, in fact, they are meant to remedy any communication hiccups that may end up wasting significant amounts of time doing the same thing or facing the same challenge over and over. We've been there. If you already think, well, yeah, I know you've been there, I've been there, and it's not pleasant anymore. You have to drag yourself to these boardrooms, and I mean B-O-R-E-D. So, while these types of meetings might not be the most fun or engaging, hey, did I not just go there? Businesses use them to address any problems that have come up, assign tasks, and make any decisions necessary to move forward effectively. Such meetings can turn into quick sync-ups and are less susceptible to dragging on past a given time frame. So, if you stick to it, stick to the agenda. It certainly helps, and listening, actually, I told that about the pre-meeting as well. Listening is also very important, so you don't repeat things that have already been said 3/4 of an hour ago. The second one is decision-making meetings. Well, although managers generally have the final say, the discussions around important business discussions often occur in larger groups. So smaller decisions may be made in status update meetings, but important ones will command their own dedicated meeting times. See, the process of making a decision could be spread out over several different meetings so that all parties have a chance to gather information, come up with solutions, and vote on how to best move forward. This can result in a lot of time tied up in meetings and communication back and forth. So, it is important, of course, eventually the manager or the leader has to make the final decision. But Simon Sinek has actually, this is just coming to me, Simon Sinek read it as well, no doubt, but he even wrote a great book called Leaders Eat Last. And it's in Africa. I've spent a lot of time in Africa, where I hope to go back as soon as possible again to be with Artie, another show house later on this today. In Africa, it is in the communities. It's always been a process that they sit in a circle and the leader talks about the problem, and then everybody gets a say, and the leader has his say last. So nobody is influenced by his opinions. Nobody is threatened by what he says. And it's a wise thing to do. Leaders should speak last, because that way everybody gets a say, and everybody should have a say. So that's very important. And in Africa they've done this ever since time began, and it still works for them. It just sometimes meetings run away a bit, and we don't do what we should be doing in a meeting, and people are scared to speak up because intimidation, because they don't think it matters. Every voice matters, and even on a radio show, your voice matters all the time. And then there is number 3, problem-solving meetings. Similar to decision meetings, problem-solving meetings have a specific goal in mind. I mean, the title actually says it. There's a major clue in there, actually, because there's no standard problem-solving meeting, since issues vary depending on your team and organization. But these types of meetings are crucial nonetheless. Of course they are. I mean, and again, the structure of those is very important because we need to be very careful that it doesn't run into a riot or any other total distractions. But these meetings may be based on emergencies that need to be resolved quickly. But team building meetings, we have them as well, of course. And although every meeting is a chance for a team to become a little closer by engaging in banter in the beginning and gaining a stronger understanding of their counterparts, sometimes it's necessary to have a planned team building meeting. I mean, we do team building all the time as well, and we see how important it is because we see how disconnected people become for a variety of reasons. But these meetings can be corporate events or outings for the team, which we do, department or entire company, and can serve to generate some employee loyalty and engagement. And then we have ID sharing meetings, and sometimes it's better to have the whole group together and share new ideas rather than disturbing them in a meaty email or a chaotic chat thread. So these meetings allow the speaker or presenter to go more depth into a topic. Conversations can happen in real time and team members ask questions. And then, of course, we've got innovation meetings where every organization needs new ideas from time to time. And innovation meetings are the standard answer to that need. It is difficult to enforce creativity, but you can solicit many ideas as possible and then filter them through to find the suitable solutions. So here we are again. I'm going to take a short 2 to 3 minutes break. When we come back, we will be talking about 8 common meeting problems. So don't go away, and I'll see you in a few minutes.